What's up, Voofs? It's a rainy day here in ARK Survival Evolved. This is the island, and, well, today I got a special episode here. As I said, I will be doing a lot of ARK videos on my channel in the future, and we began to scratch the surface of ARK videos. Gonna do guides, gonna do all sorts of stuff, gonna do fun videos, gonna do themed videos, gonna do comedy videos as well. Oh man, there's gonna be good stuff coming up. But yeah, I'm your host Fox, and today I'm gonna tell you how to, well, or how I actually do, set up my single player game to be a most fun experience for your single player enjoyment. Yes, and that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. I'm gonna go exactly through what I set up and what I've tested. I've been testing a long time. So if you're setting up your first server, or not your server, your first game, your first single player game, this is basically what I would actually implore you to do for your settings, because it's going to be the most fun experience for you. And you want that probably because fun is all we want, and this is ARK Survival Evolved, and yep, let's get straight into it. Oh yeah.
Did you pick something up, Artemis?
Computer findings point to yes.
And now we're back to the main screen of ARK Survival Evolved, and this is where we will actually do all these settings. So yeah, if you're new to this channel, if you enjoy content like this, become a member of the Wolf Pack by subscribing. I'm gonna do a lot more ARK Survival Evolved content in the future. So yeah, join the crew, become part of the Wolf Pack, and also don't forget to feed the floof. Feed the floof. You can feed the floof by the like button. Make it a FAT-ASS-FLOOF. Floof likes to become fat and explode one day. Yes. Now. So this is my guide basically for all you newcomers, or even old schoolers who just want to increase their fun with ARK Survival Evolved with a single player. Now this is only single player settings. You can also use it for your servers if you want to, but that's your thing. So these are the settings that I have been using for a long time. I've been switching around, testing a lot, and I've also been using some mods. I'm also going to tell you what mods to use. So you want to go on host local right here. Now, there's a few things. It looks like a lot. It looks like a lot, but there's actually not a lot you need to take a look out for. So, let's begin right here on the General tab. There's like 3 tabs up here, top left. Just go to General. So, what you want to change, I will only tell you what you need to change. Everything else is just standard. So, no worries. It's going to be easy. So, first off, you want to put the difficulty level from, I think it's at 0.2 or something. You want to put it all the way to 1. Now it looks like a lot, but you can actually manually increase it if you want to, like 5.0, like this. It's going to be far above. But you want to just put it at 1.0, because 1.0 is like the normal setting. It's the normal setting of all the maps, and this is where it should be for the best, most fun experience. Because, well, basically all this does is just increase the dino levels. And if you're like at 0.2, that makes the beginning is always hard, kind of, if you start a new game, but it makes mid-game and late-game very, very easy. So just start off with 1.0 and get used to all the variable levels of the dinos, because they still spawn at level 1, but they may also spawn at level 100, so everything's possible. Keep it at 1.0, best setting in my opinion. Did a lot of testing, just do like this. So, next up, all this stuff is pretty much standard. Next up is the XP multiplier. Now here, I would recommend putting in 2.0 permanently. I did start off in doing 3.0, but I changed it back to 2.0 because it's basically a good amount. It takes you good, but it's still a good amount of time to get to max level, and you do want to have like this feeling of going somewhere during play, and what you really don't want is to be like level 100 in 1 hour, 2 hour, 10 hours, whatever, and then like never level up again. You kind of lose that feeling. So you want to put 2.0 to have a little quicker leveling, especially compared to multiplayer. But 2.0 is pretty good. 3.0 is too much in my opinion. Leave it 2.0, that's pretty good. So next up, taming speed. And yes, you can see 10.0, and there's no slider here. That's because usually it's at 1.0, but you can slide up to 3.0. But what you want to do is click in here and manually input 10.0. Now, taming speed is a thing. It's like this. Would you prefer to tame a Tyrannosaurus Rex in 6 hours of taming mini game, let's call it that? Or would you just rather have a 30-minute mini game of taming, which is still a lot of fun, but then be rewarded in 30 minutes? especially if you want to play single player, and especially if you want to do it in sessions? Well, the answer is pretty easy. I've tested this a lot. I had it at 20, I had it at 15, I had it at 5, and I decided 10.0 is like the best settings. The reason for this is with a 10.0 setting, you basically, for a low-level T-Rex, it takes around 30 minutes up to an hour to tame him. So that's pretty good in my opinion. So it's like a minigame, and it's freaking T-Rex. For a Raptor, you usually just need like 5 minutes, but still, it makes the game experience way more faster, but not broken in my opinion. So 10.0 is pretty good. Also with 10.0, a few of the creatures in game have like a taming mini game that is a specialty to them. Like for example, the Ikus, the horses. They need to be ridden and fed during riding to tame them. But if you go above 10.0, at 15.0 for example, or 12.0, you just insta-tame pretty much even the high-level ones. At 10.0, you would still instant-tame a horse below level 10, I guess, but everything higher still requires you to do the horse riding mini game. So the game's still there, but you have a much more fun time doing so. So 10.0 for taming speed, my recommendation. Keep in mind, everything I'm telling you is just my personal recommendation from playing single player for a long time, and I basically just play this game single player, sometimes inviting friends over to my non-dedicated session. But yeah, take this from a person who does hours of single player, okay? So, next up, everything else is pretty much standard. I didn't change anything here. Now, non-dedicated host tether distance. Just put this to 99.0 and leave it like that. I won't tell. It's basically just a distance another player can be from yourself. So sometimes maybe you want a friend over to join your single player just to help you out. That's what we usually do, me and my friends. Everyone has their own single player, but we invite each other to help out in boss fights and stuff like that. So you use a host non-dedicated session to do the friend thing, and you can invite him over. And by putting this to 99.0, your friend will be able to move as far away from your location as possible instead of rubber banding after 300 meters. So 99.0. Don't put it any higher. It has to be 99.0. Not 99.9, not 100, not a million, 99.0. Okay? I did a separate video on this specifically, where I also did testing and gameplay of it actually working. So if you want to know more about this, just watch that video. And also keep in mind, I heard that there's actually the console version doesn't have this right now. It might appear at a later point, whatever. So keep that in mind. This is just an info. If you want to see the entire thing, watch the other video. So for check markers, as you can see here, I'm not entirely sure which one of these are on or disabled initially. So I'm just going to go over the ones that I think have to be enabled or disabled. So I think what is usually enabled is enable crosshair right here. You should disable this. There's multiple reasons for this. Having crosshair in game actually makes the game easier because you have a way easier time to aim, but it also kind of breaks a few game mechanics and weapons, because weapons have like their own aiming devices. You can craft them. Other weapons are difficult to aim at, while other weapons like a better bow has an actual aim on it. So having the crosshair actually makes the game much easier than it should be. Disabling it makes it more realistic and a lot more fun to actually learn how to aim with certain bows, because they have an aiming mechanic on them. So keep this disabled and learn the game basically from scratch by disabling the crosshair option. So next one, don't do hardcore mode, otherwise your character will stay dead. These should be all off. Now, show map player location. I think this one's on, not sure. If it is, turn it off, in my opinion. This is because you usually have a map, or every player has a map always on them. You can hit M to open your map if you use a keyboard. The thing is, though, it would show with this option on, it would show your exact location on the map where you are. However, this kind of breaks a few items in the game once again. Since you have like a compass, you even have a scouter that kind of gives your location exactly on the map. And having this on makes some of the items useless, which kind of breaks the game. So yeah, disable it to have the most immersive gameplay you can have. I know it's tougher, especially earlier, but it's also a very good feeling to learn the actual map layout itself, and then later on have compass and stuff, and then learn how everything looks. And at some point, I can navigate. Me personally, I can navigate through the island blindfolded. Literally, I know where I am, wherever I am, pretty much. So yeah, do this for your own good. So everything else here, let's see, these should be all disabled anyway. Enable PvP Gamma. I would keep this disabled. It's just also if you have a server, this is a little off tracking, but whatever. If you have a server, disable this as well, so players cannot at nighttime just increase their gamma to have it look like daytime. It's cheating. This thing's cheating. Why does this even exist? So disable this. Now use single player settings. Keep this on, checked. What it does, I did a little testing with this, but what it mainly does is it just makes a few things slightly more likely to be destroyed by dinos, wild dinos or whatever. Something like that, but the main thing is it gives you way more engram points. So if you have this enabled, you get much more engram points by leveling up, which is very useful for single player. It's still not overkill. You still need to, well, make sure you buy or purchase the skills you want to really have for crafting. But it's not that bad to. But with the setting on, you can basically, in the end, if you get level 100, you can buy almost everything that is very necessary. So, yeah, keep this on. It's single player. You usually don't have your friends that will learn how to build this while you do that. So keep this on. Pretty good. Use corpse locator. Also, keep this on. It's kind of, sort of cheating because you can see your dead body. I did use a mod for this before, but it's actually in the game now. And I think it's activated in general, so just keep this checked. Use corpse locator, and if you die, you can find your corpse. If you're close enough, you can see a ray of light that will show you where your corpse is, so that's pretty good. Use that. Anything else here, just keep it disabled. Pretty good. Now, next, these were just a few things. Like I said, it's not really hard, not really too advanced. That's where we go to advanced here. Now, there's only like 2 things we need to do here, or I do actually. So there's no changes overall here. Do not change anything here, whatever. But there's one thing you may want to change. This is your choice, though. Now, where is it? So, daytime speed and nighttime speed. You generally do not change anything here, especially not daytime speed. But if you want in early gameplay, you may put this to 1.3. Just do it manually, like this. And that will make it slightly easier to get around the nights early in the game. But if you're hardcore, just keep it to 1.0. Well, that's basically the only thing you would. Oh, not daytime speed. Sorry, I meant nighttime speed, right? Nighttime speed. So yeah, just keep it at 1.0. Doesn't matter. I had it higher before, but there's also a lot of things you can do only at night. So keep this just keep it at 1.0 or put nighttime speed at 1.3 early game. Now, next up, everything else, just keep it standard. And, yeah, that's pretty much that. For engrams, you don't need to change anything here. That's pretty good. Now, next up, let's go to the mod settings here. So, I am using free mods, as you can see. What I usually do not like is mods that would just make the game too easy, break stuff, break mechanics, stuff like that. So, all of these mods actually just make the single player more fun, generally speaking. So I'm just going to tell you what these do. The Realism Giga Tweak is a mod you can search. You should be able to search and find these in the at least on Steam right now in the mod section with the exact names as you can see here, right? If you want to use these, so that's where you can find them. Realism Giga Tweak. The Gigantosaurus are just way overpowered. They're supposed to be boss monsters. Yes, they are, but they're it's kind of useless to fight them. You need it's just no fun. Those are no fun dinos. And even if you manage to tame one, they get much weaker than their original form. So that kind of sucks. And what this mod does, what in general what you want is to basically balance those gigas. So what this mod does is it balances the giga to be around 3 times as strong as a T-Rex, but not more, not overpowered. And it also makes the model a little smaller. So I think a third smaller or something. Little, it's still taller than the T-Rex, but it's not that gigantic. So yeah, I love this mod, a really good one. There's others you can test around, but just get one that makes the Giga like around max 3 times as strong as a T-Rex, and you'll have a way more fun time playing the game. And no, I haven't actually tamed even one of these yet. They're still strong, that's what I mean. Now, Pet Manager. Pet Manager is an awesome mod. It actually allows you to make parties with your pets, and you will see their life bars during gameplay, which is just straight off awesome. And yeah, you have basically a little more control over your pets, and that makes the game a little less frustrating, you know. And also, it's not broken. It doesn't really do much other than that. There's also a few functions that are really useful. First off, you can collect poop that is nearby. It doesn't have a high range, really high, huge range or whatever. It's just easier to collect poop when you're standing next to a lot of dinos. Yeah, now you're thinking, why would I collect poop? Well, you'll find out by playing. Now, next up there, with the Pet Manager, you can also locate your pets, which will, you could abuse this, yeah. I generally just use it if I really lose a pet for a bugged reason or whatever. It will show you exactly where your pet is with an arrow, and you can follow that arrow and just find your pet. That's pretty useful. Don't abuse it though, don't abuse it. And then there's one function that is really useful, which is the unstick function. It should be called unstuck, but whatever, it's unstick. Basically, if your pet gets stuck in a wall or whatever, or even worse, if you're in a dungeon, your pet like falls through the floor and is like below the map, which really sucks, especially if it was like a really cool high-level dino. You can click the unstick button, and the pet will, well, it will pop up right before you, or not right before you. It will pop up above the map and land on the map, basically. So, great mod to save bugged pets. And finally, we got Loot Sense. Now, Loot Sense is awesome. Before this one, I used Freeze Loot Crates. It was called Freeze Loot Crates, like free, the number 3. But I'm using this one now because this one actually works for all the maps. And what it does is pretty simple. First of all, it fixes a few loot crate bugs where loot crates would just have really useless stuff and the same thing over and over. And second of all, it adds a few new sets of loot and also level scaled loot. So the higher you get in your level and the higher loot crates spawn, the higher loot you get. It's really good. It's really cool. And if you're like really high level, you also get high level stuff, which is pretty awesome. And it makes actually looking for those things much more fun. It also affects the dungeon loot, so keep that in mind. Pretty good, and it doesn't break the game in my opinion. So yeah, it also gives you way more engrams for those better equips, so you can finally build those yourself. And it tends to give you more engrams than the actual items, so that's balanced as well. So check it out, Loot Sense, Pet Manager, Realism, Gigatwig. That's the ones I use. And yeah. So, I'm gonna give you a little bonus. We're gonna do some hunting, at least real quick, real spiff. And then that's the episode here. But for now, thanks for watching this stuff here. I hope this was useful, especially if you're like a newcomer, if you just begin playing your game, or if you're thinking about getting the game. This should make it much easier to put a general setup here and get the thing good for a single player fun game. If you're like me, if you want to play single player, this is what you should do, in my opinion. Keep in mind, this is all my opinion. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna do one more bonus right now. Well then, and finally, as finale, I will be doing some night chasing, night hunting with my little pet Mega Zero right there. It's staying asleep right now. It's, let's see, it's 4:16. So we just got a few seconds left. No! Wake up! Wake up! Hey! Hey! Hey, you! Come on. Wake up. Okay, let's do something here. Woo! Yeah, we got a Megalosaurus. I will do a separate video. I will do a lot more ARK videos. A shit ton of more ARK videos, Fiend videos, comedy, as well as guides and all that shit. So expect that at some point. But for now, let's get that blue item there. I think we can do that, right? Yeah, this is Megalosaurus. Megalosaurus is one of my favorite creatures in the entire game. It's awesome, but it's only useful during night. Or at least till 5 o'clock. Oh no! Only a few minutes left. It just swallows everything whole. And there we go. Oh, another one. I'm just gonna leave him. Eat it. Eat it. Let me see what's in here. What is this? Blueprint for an EQ saddle. I don't even need that. Nope. Destroy that. Ah, that was delicious, wasn't it? Huh. Let's go back. No, we only got a few more seconds. Let's go back to base quickly. Quickly. In daytime, he's just so slow. He's just so slow. But yeah, that's basically how you can set up your single player to be a very, very awesome experience. A lot of shit ton of fun. I love this game. I love it so much. It might even be my favorite game of all time. It might be. It's at least a contender. Let's say it like that. So yeah. And oh, well, Darkwing Duck is up there. Hello, Darkwing Duck. What's up? What's ticking? What's squeaking? And he's not falling asleep. Whatever. So, this was my guide for you guys for how to set up your perfect single player. Yes. Now then, if you enjoy content like this, become a member of the FLOOF Pack by subscribing. Join me with my future content videos. It's going to be great. Also, don't forget to feed the FLOOF. Feed the FLOOF. You can feed the FLOOF by hitting the like button. Make it a FAT-ASS-FLOOF. FLOOF will explode one day. It will explode one day. I like it. FAT-ASS-FLOOFy. The FLOOF eats likes. Anyway, so, Mr. Sleepyhead, you're going to be in a video pretty soon. Your own video. I'm going to do dungeon raids, all that stuff. I'm going to do dungeon guides. Going to do all sorts of like single player, no wiki guides, stuff like that. So yeah, expect that. And yeah, I'm just gonna say thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time. Fox out.